Hello dear student, in this video we will learn the next point, that is about the life cycle of web service. Now we have seen what is a web service, what is the need of the web service, which are the technologies used in the web service, advantages and disadvantages of the web service. So what is a web service? Web service, it is a common task and a common API, and it is used by the different applications, and they will interact with this web service in the form of the XML. There are different technologies we have seen, just like it will use SOAP protocol for the communication. It can use UDDI to keeping the registry of all these web services, or it will use the language as in a WSDL language. So these are the technology used to develop that web service. So this web service, when you are creating, so it contains different phases, and according to that it will form a life cycle of that web service. So the first, that the cycle that contain the requirement phase. So you can compare this one that you have learned in a software engineering, that which are the different phases of that uh, any project or any program. So same like that, there will be a requirement phase, then analysis of that web service, then we have to do the designing, then coding and the testing, and then deployment. So here this diagram, it is showing that it will start from the requirement, then analysis, design, coding, testing, and last one it is a deployment. So this is a web service implementation life cycle. So first phase, it is a requirement phase, that that requirements means we have to find out the requirement. We have to gather the requirement of that particular web service. Now which web service we want to create. Suppose we want to create a web service of stock market, just displaying the share market values. Then for that we have to collect that which are the different requirements for that particular stock market. According to that, we have to make a list of the requirements of that particular program, web service. That will be your requirement phase. Once this requirement phase complete, then next one will be your analysis phase. So we will find out which are the different requirement of your project from the user, from the customer. Even developer can also give an idea to add into the requirements. Then in analysis, these requirements will be analysis, how exactly these requirement will be converted into an implementation model. So it will refine this requirement properly into the analysis way, in a technical terms. Once this analysis phase is complete, that uh, development team, technical team should understand that what they exactly have to do to implement this particular project, particular web service. Then after analysis, once they understand the requirement of the customer properly, then they will go to the design phase. In the design phase, this web service will design. So there will be we have to draw some data flows, so that you can understand how exactly the data will flow from start to the end, which are the different datas we required, and according to that we have to give the data type for that data, how many integers we are using, how they will that will be accessed, string types, or any another arrays, vectors, whatever the data we required, that will be understand in this design phase. Different diagrams we have to draw for this web service, that will understand the flow of your web service from start to the end. Once the design phase is complete, then there will be the coding, that is the implementation part. So it will include the code that will implement this design into actual coding. Once the coding is done, now this coding, it will be used the WSDL language to code that one. Then testing, whether this code it is running properly or not, it is satisfying all these requirements given by the customer or not, and is there any bug within that code, or it is not performing the functions correctly. So expected output and actual output, that difference, that test cases will be formed, and they will find out the difference. If any of the differences are present, then again this code, this web service API will be given back to the coding part, design coding part, and then they will do the changes as per necessary, and then again testing will be done. Once the test it is tested and it is accurate one, with all the types of testing. Then this will be passed to the deployment phase. So in the deployment phase, it will be converted into the executable application, and this executable application API will be stored in the form of the registry, in the form of the UDDI into some remote location, remote server. So these are the some implementation life cycle of this web service. Now along with that, this web service life cycle, we should know the architecture of the web service. Now this architecture of web service, mainly it contains the three roles in that. One, it is a service provider, another one it is a service requester, and third one it is a service registry. So just look at this diagram. Service provider name is indicating that who is providing the services. Okay, so it will provide the web service. Second one, service requester, who is requesting for the service, who need the service, means that will be your application requires the web service, so that will be service requester. And service registry, where exactly your services are stored, it may be stored. So this is about the web services, its roles. These are the different roles, and according to that, how exactly these web services work. This is your client application, the web browser, where you are requesting for web application, and this is a ASP.NET web application server. Now this web application, it is consuming the web service of the consumer. Now one way that it will directly call it from the XML web service, or it will look for the UDDI directory. UDDI, just I told you that it is having the registry. Registry means it is a list of all your web services URLs. So these URLs that user has to find out it's a needful URL, and then it will be retrieved. Now the user, this user means your client, unknown about all these web services. This ASP.NET application, when it is developed, then this particular web services has been embedded as per the requirement. Now one is a UDDI way, or another one in a XML web service also. Now you can get a response in the form of the WSDL. Now there are two concepts here you will see. One is a discovery and another one is a UDDI. It stands for the discovery. It is a discovery file which contains a link of all these web services. So client will simply request for this web services, and it will find out this available web services from that disco file. So this ASP.NET application in between server, which will look for this either for the disco or either for the UDDI directory, and they will give that correct output according to their web service. Now this disco, it is supported by the Microsoft, and UDDI web service, it is a publicly available and it is shared everywhere, and anyone can access that one, UDDI. Then we have seen just about the life cycle of the web service, and we learned with different phases of these web services, and how exactly different roles are involved in this web service. One, it is a provider one, second one it is a requester, and third one is a registry. So here actually the starting is that service requester, it is requesting for the web service. So where it will request to the service provider. Service provider, it will look for this one service registry, and according to that service registry, it will be accessed by this service requester. So it will get the service. So these are the different roles, and here exactly the client machine, how it is interacting to the web application, and web application at the back end, it will interacting to the remote web server. Now we will stop here, and the next video we will see the structure of the web service. Thank you.